guys, it's Miss Lee. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm sorry that I missed you guys last month. As you guys know, I got married and it was a wonderful wedding. Maybe I'll be able to show you guys pictures sometime. We're very happy. And last month it was Thanksgiving. I hope that everyone had a good Thanksgiving. I went with my husband up to Minneapolis, Minnesota, where my brother lives. My brother is a chef, so he made some awesome Thanksgiving recipes, and it was really cold. It was 16 degrees when we got there. So happy to be back in North Carolina and chatting with you guys. Miss Sandy and I are sorry that we haven't been able to make Skype work, but we hope you guys watched our video last month and are ready to work with us again. Miss Sandy said to say hi too. So Miss Kessler told me that you guys are working really hard on having a growth mindset, which is really awesome, and Miss Sandy and I were so happy to hear that. So last month, we talked about fighting stinkin' thinking, and that's something that we're going to continue to work on throughout the year. But today, we're going to work on another super important skill, and it's called setting. It's setting a goal, and we're going to be working with something called SMART goals. What is a SMART goal, you ask? A SMART goal stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. See how all the letters in SMART were the beginnings of those words? And I know that's a lot of big words, but what we're going to do is we're going to go through step by step and make sure that you guys are setting SMART goals for yourself as we head into the new year. So, like I said, it may sound a little bit scary, but in a few minutes, you'll have accomplished something that a lot of grown-ups struggle with, including myself. So I know we can do it, even though it's difficult. So let's get started. So first thing we're going to do is turn to page 8 in our Yet workbook. There you're going to see your SMART goal chart. Miss Kessler is going to pause the video throughout this so that you can work on each section as long as you need to, okay? So the first thing we need to do is think of something specific that we want to work on, and that's going to be your goal. So you might want to improve maybe your spelling, and specific means that it should be one thing that we're working on at a time. Don't try and do too much. You can make different goals for different, you can make different SMART goals for different things that you're working on, but we just want to focus on one thing with a specific aspect. So, for example, you could want to improve your spelling. So for first, I want you to write that one thing that you want to improve on in the specific box. Go ahead and do that now and pause the video. Okay, awesome. The next part is making sure your goal is measurable, knowing when you have reached your goal. That's what measurable means. So if we stick with this example of spelling that I'm going to keep working with you guys, you might know that you've gotten better at spelling if you get 80% or better on 5 tests in a row. That's something where you see the outcome on your tests and you know that that's measurable. So, you might want to think about how you're going to know that you're getting better at this goal and think of something specific and measurable. Okay, write that down on your chart. Like I said, what you guys are doing is hard for adults, so you guys are doing great. We're 2 steps of the way through. So the A stands for attainable. Attainable means your goal is doable. It's something that's possible to accomplish. Can kids improve their ability to spell words correctly? Yeah, for sure, you bet. So for this one, all we want you to do is think really hard about whether your goal is doable and write down yes or no in that block. So go ahead and take a moment to reflect on whether your goal is doable. You might even ask a friend or a classmate for help if you need to. So if your goal seems doable in the time that you're thinking about, then you write yes. And by the way, if your goal does not seem doable, we might need to think of something else for this exercise because we definitely don't want to set goals that we can't accomplish for right now. Go ahead and think about whether your goal is doable and write yes or no now. Go ahead and pause the video. Awesome. So the R stands for 2 things actually. It stands for realistic and relevant. And this is a really hard part of goal setting. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually come back to this one next month. But basically, the realistic and relevant part is your action plan or the bridge from getting from here to there that we talked about when we first started talking about yet. Like I said, we're going to come back to this, so just leave that blank for right now, okay? And we're going to move on to the last part of SMART goals. Great job, you guys. I'm really proud of you. And that's T for time bound. So this is the time when you want to reach your goal. It should be a firm date, such as the end of a month or the end of a quarter or maybe your birthday if that's coming up. Something that you can mark on your calendar and work towards. You might want to like circle a date on a calendar or something like that. And you're going to think of this as a challenge. It's part of the SMART goal that is meant to push you a little bit to work on it a little bit every day. So go ahead and write that date down now. So just continuing with the spelling example, since it's the first week of December, maybe at the end of, maybe by Valentine's Day, you want to have improved your spelling, or maybe St. Patrick's Day, you want to have improved your spelling and gotten better on those tests, that measurable part of it. You guys can think about a date that works for you and maybe talk with your classmates or talk with Miss Kessler about some dates that work for you guys. I know that was a lot. I know this video was long, but Miss Sandy and I are so proud of you for working on this exercise today. Setting goals really is grown-up stuff, and it's something that we do at the beginning of the new year. So it's a really good time to be working on it, and we know it's really hard. But it's a really important life skill that you guys are really gonna use throughout your lives. So you guys can feel great about it. Before I go, I want you to turn to page 9 in your workbook. Page 9 talks about the real and relevant part of your SMART goal that I told you guys to skip a little bit earlier. So what you guys can do right now is start thinking about specific steps you can do to reach your goal. Some examples are on page 9, but you will have to make your own steps to reach your goal. You might need to talk to Miss Kessler or a parent or another grown-up or a sibling about this realistic and relevant time part of it, which is why we're going to come back to this next month in January. So I hope you guys had fun setting some SMART goals, and I hope that you guys set some good ones, and we can't wait to hear about them. Okay, until we talk again, I think Miss Sandy and I are going to try and do the video next time together, or Miss Sandy will be back talking to you guys. Have a good break, have a good holiday season, everyone stay safe, and keep growing your brains. Okay, bye.